Keontae Shad seems to have given you guys a real spark since he's got in there. What have you seen from him?
Well, he's doing what we saw on film. When he had an opportunity to go get in the portal and we started watching film on him, we saw somebody that was athletic, got good size, and was explosive off the line. So that was, and he's got some experience underneath his belt. So he brought all of that to us this season, and it's shown on the football field.
Talk about the improvement of James Rawls this season. Seems like we've seen him get in the backfield a little bit more, just compared to him getting his feet wet last year. What have you seen as the biggest difference for him this year?
Well, I just think the year. I mean, if every year that kid plays, James plays, he's going to continue to get better. Obviously, I'd like for him to get better as fast as I possibly can, and he's doing that. But that's the difference. I mean, it's a lot COVID year last year, and in him, getting the time that he's gotten this year, he just continues to get better. And as he continues to get better, you'll see a lot more of him on the football field.
What are one or two points maybe you've seen from the overall defensive line and how they've improved over a year ago?
Well, we made it physical. I think we've got a tremendous strength staff. I think the work they've done over the years to get bigger, stronger, faster, more explosive, it's showing up on the football field. I think the techniques we've taught is the same techniques we've taught since we've gotten here, since day one. I just think the guys that are showing up every day in the room are bigger, faster, and stronger, and I think they've done a nice job within the program, building that camaraderie, knowing the playbook, and playing with some confidence.
The fact that the group has shown that much improvement without Hodgins on the field this year, how much did that speak to the depth of this group as opposed to, maybe a couple of years ago when it was a little bit thinner?
Well, this is a direct result to me, in my opinion, because of Hodgins. I mean, the leadership he's provided the last few years in terms of just showing up and working every single day. I mean, the guys, he was one of the guys that the guys either had to match his intensity or try to or try to reach to. So I think, culturally, he's been a tremendous asset to our group. Unfortunate that he hasn't been available this year for us, but he's been able to be here and be in the room, and as we built this program, as we've gotten the bodies that we needed to get into this room to help us win football games, I just think that them continuing to work and with our strength staff and the culture we're building in that building, it's just overall the whole room is getting better.
How's Thomas transition from offense to defense? How's he doing?
He's doing great. I think Thomas is going to be one of those players that I think they're going to remember here for a long time. Obviously the transition is not easy for somebody who spent 2 years with the offensive line and then transition so quickly to come over in the defensive line and play and ask him to do the things that we've done here. So I think he's doing well. I think there's some room to grow there. I think this year has kind of been a learning year for him being his first year being on the defensive line. But I'm so fired up for him and what he can give us here in the future.
What's your assessment of Cal, their offense, and what's it going to be like facing Garbers in the game?
Well, I think we're talking about a diverse offense that gives us a lot of different looks. They challenge you schematically in terms of our alignments and our assignments. They do a lot of things in the run game that we got to be prepared for, and we got to be able to communicate certain calls and checks that we need to do on defense to get us in the right position to defend everything that they've done. Barbers has got a lot of experience. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a good quarterback that gives his team a chance to win football games with athletically and throwing the football. So it's going to be a good challenge. They got some experience up front. They got some wideouts that can make some plays. Obviously they try to put some good games together offensively, but I think it's going to be a big challenge just because of what they present.
How confident are you in the depth on the D-line that you have now, being able to go to your reserves?
Well, I play a lot of, I play quite a few guys, probably 6 to 7 guys in the room. I mean, I'm excited because we've got a lot of depth in the room. We're playing about 6, 7 guys a game, which is probably the most I've done since I've been here. And so we're not getting overloaded with one guy at the end of the year. I think we're as healthy as we've been here since I've been here, and that's a part of it, is that we're able to play multiple guys throughout the course of the year.
Have you seen a change in the last couple of years in the ability to get guys to rotate? In other words, other offenses are slowing down, making it easier to bring them off the field, especially if they're on the other end of the field as far as substitutions?
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be a challenge. I mean, substituting is, you got to prepare for that as much as, the lineup or the defense you put in. depending on which offenses that we get in, we're prepared if they go fast. We got a plan to be able to substitute guys that we need to, regardless of how fast an offense does or how slow an offense goes. We're going to play multiple guys up front. We got a room full of guys that can help us win and add value to our defense when they're fresh. And so we try to keep them rolling. So I don't know. I mean, in terms of, that's always going to be ours. Is we're going to rotate guys. It's hard, I think, nowadays to play 11 guys every single snap. And as long as they rotate one, we got a chance to rotate guys. And so, that's kind of been our game plan.
Wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of other players, their progress. How has Lola progressed through the season?
He's been incredible throughout the course of the season. He's a lightning in a bottle. He's another guy that I think, like Thomas, is going to be a guy that's going to have a great career here. He's learning. He's getting better. He's pretty explosive athlete. He's pretty dynamic in terms of his ability to find the football, and he can be really disruptive. So he's done a nice job. Again, one of those guys that I said that with the strength staff and what they've been able to do with him on that side of things, has given him the chance to play this year as a really second-year freshman.
And how about Travis Shippen?
He's coming along. He's added good size. He was pretty raw coming out of junior college, and then add the COVID year on top of that. So his development is a little bit slower than I want it to be, but he's coming along.